Ladies and gentlemen, today's a sad day. November 7th, 2021 marks the end of a few things. The end of the 2021 Cup season, the end of an era for the Gen 6 car, and unfortunately, it marks the final Cup Series race for StarCom Racing. Now, let's be honest here, most people don't give a shit, and that's okay. But for me and this channel, we've been a fan for StarCom the last 4 seasons, really ever since they came into the sport. And it has been a hell of a time following this small little team and everything they've gone through the last couple of years. So in honor of their final race, I bring to you this video. I want to tell you all about StarCom Racing. So the story begins for me back in 2017. If you were a Dale Jr. fan like me, you probably really remember that year or have already suppressed it. Up until that point, I was a Dale Jr. fan my entire time watching NASCAR. So when, in 2017 rolled around, it was a sad year. But I went to as many races as I could to see him run one more time and hopefully have a good run. I don't think he had any good runs at any of the races I went to. I think I went to like 7 or 8 Cup races. But late in that year, 2017, a brand new team hit the track, StarCom Racing. 32nd race of the year, Kansas Speedway. 00 rolled out there for the first time with the legendary 1990 Daytona 500 champ, Derek Cope. Now, unfortunately, it only made it 35 laps, and Derek pulled it behind the wall for some shitty handling, but that was their first start anyways. Derek did manage to finish a race that season in the 00. They only ran 2 races. The other one was Phoenix, but managed a 32nd place finish. But 2 races there to finish 2017 to kind of get their feet wet for 2018 as they were planning on going full-time with 1 car and then having a second part-time car. It was honestly about this time 4 years ago that I became a fan. I'll never forget it. I couldn't find the tweet. I looked for it, but way back when, 2017, Thanksgiving, StarCom Racing held some giveaways and some stuff on their social media, and I was like, hell yeah, they were giving away a t-shirt to a bunch of people. I think they chose like 5 different winners, so I retweeted that bad boy, and believe it or not, I actually won. What did I win? I won this very t-shirt right here. Let me turn around. Look at this. Look at this. Derek Cope, baby. Like this is the original t-shirt right here. This is it, and I've worn it proudly ever since. As Dale Jr. was retiring that year, and then I won this t-shirt giveaway, I was like, well, I can at least pull for these guys. I don't know how serious I was about it at the time, but I don't think I had ever won a Twitter giveaway or anything. I still haven't, but I was like, hell yeah, free t-shirt. I mean, let's see what these guys got. So 2018, first season with StarCom going full time. And the start of the 00 that everybody knows and loves. But let me tell you, the 00 got off to a weird start. Many don't remember, Jeffrey Earnhardt originally got the nod to drive the 00 full time. I actually got my t-shirt around here somewhere. Hold on. Here you go. Look at this bad boy. It's seen some better days, but I got the 00, and then look at the back. We got all the graphics on the back. Hell yeah, Jeffrey Earnhardt, VRX. I don't even know what the hell that is. Oh, simulators.com. Okay, that sounds like fun. Anyways. So Jeffrey Earnhardt only ended up making it 5 whole races. The Daytona 500 went pretty good for him, finished 21st, ended up actually getting caught up in one of the late race accidents, but was there most of the race and on the lead lap for most of the race, and in the last stage ended up going a lap down because he couldn't keep up with the main pack, and then he was with the main pack just a lap down when they all wrecked, and then he got in the wall pretty good, but that was his best finish, and then he ate shit with the team the last 4 races. And then StarCom was like, let's move on. But you know who they moved on for? That's right, everybody's favorite Landon Castle. That was when they switched to Landon Castle, that was when I was super excited. I knew that I was going to have a fun time rooting for the team. And really bringing in Landon Castle, like everybody loves Landon Castle. And once everybody heard he was going to StarCom, I feel like that's where everybody started to take on the StarCom Racing. So in 2018, Landon was in the 00 for most of the races, and then obviously full-time in 2019. But in 2018, we did have a couple all-star appearances in the 00. We had Joey Gase, who actually tied Landon Castle for the best finish that year with an 18th at Talladega in the fall. While Landon Castle finished 18th there, y'all remember that Las Vegas shit show race in the playoffs from 2018? That was the other 18th place finish from that season. Aside from that, Joey Gase did not have some good runs in the 00, let me tell you. The only other one, though, was Tommy Dreese, shout out. Made 1 start at Sonoma, finished 32nd. So that one's just kind of like, But he's part of the lore, so. My favorite thing about 2018, though, was that they also had a second car that ran most of the weeks. And 2018 probably had my favorite StarCom paint schemes of all time. In 2018, they didn't bring in a whole lot of sponsors, which they actually did quite well in the last couple of years. But in 2018, you saw a lot of StarCom fiber cars. So they ran the primary on the 00 and kind of the inverse on the 99. And let me tell you, those are some sexy race cars. Some of my favorites. And by the way, that is kind of where my iRacing 99 came from. I mean, look at that beautiful StarCom fiber 99 car. I had to take just a little piece of it. I think the first time I got to see the 99 was at Dover, and Derek Cope was in the car. Derek Cope did not have a very good day, let me tell you. And that his bumper from that day is hanging on my wall right there above my Dale Jr. bumper. Let me go take a video of it. It's kind of a messy corner. I still got my splitter over here, but there she is. Derek did not have a very good day, let me tell you. Actually wrecked right in front of me too. That's one of the reasons I bought this bad boy. Shout out. Somebody sent me the link, I believe, from the Racing Warehouse. It had this listed, so I copped this bad boy. I thought it came out really cool though. I got the StarCom Racing logo and everything. I thought it was super cool. And again, I got a good video of it crashing too. But I got to shout out the rest who drove the 99 that year. Garrett Smithley made 2 select starts and sucked at both of them, to be honest with you. 39th, 36th. Doesn't look too good on the sheet, but he's part of the family there for 2 races, so we appreciate him. Kyle Weatherman made about 7 starts in 2018. And when he wasn't a driver, he was actually a crew member for the team. I remember seeing him at Richmond a couple of times, helping working on the car. I always thought that was pretty cool. And last but not least, Gray Gaulding, who made 2 starts as well in the 99. And he probably had one of the worst ARCA brake moments we ever had on StarCom at Bristol. It was not good.
And a pile up in the middle. The 18 of Kyle Busch is around. Contact, they're rolling in there. Gray Gaulding hits late.
Yes, he does. I love that clip because you can see Landon in the background just kind of like creeping up to the wreck. Here comes Craig Gaulding just hauling the fucking mail in there. I got to mention the 2018 Brickyard 400. You know, it was really weird. It took all the way to Quinn Half for StarCom Racing to finish their first Brickyard 400. 2018, 2019 both ended in huge wrecks. 2018 was a little bit special, though. They were in that iconic StarCom fiber paint scheme, my personal favorite. It came down to the very end of the race, too. I don't know what had happened, but way in the back of the pack, it came down to Landon Castle and Jeffrey Earnhardt racing each other for, I don't know what it was at the time, but they were well off of everybody. And Jeffrey Earnhardt just got loose up underneath them and overcorrected and junked them both big.
Landon Castle involved.
Look at this right here. It just squeezes Castle. That is a major impact for both drivers.
I was pretty pissed, not going to lie. But after that race, me and my buddy Brody walked down into the infield. You know, we wanted to see him pack up the cars, and we actually got close enough we could see him tear down the StarCom car. And one of the crew members actually saw me in my StarCom gear, this t-shirt, this hat, and walked up to me. We started talking a little bit about the race. I think the craziest part from that is that car that had crashed in Indy that day, that was Derek Cope's car that I saw from Dover that he wrecked. And it just finally got fixed back up, and that was the first time being reused again at the racetrack. And it got torn to shit by Jeffrey Earnhardt. But shout out to my man, I don't remember his name, but he actually went back and cut me off a piece of the car. I thought that was so cool. Look at this bad boy. I've kind of become a sheet metal collector over the years. I've found some interesting stuff that's been discarded after races. This is one of them. This is honestly probably my favorite piece just because it's from the OG 00 StarCom car. And look at this, it got torn, like it's crazy how much it wrinkled it. I mean, there is still, like he hit the wall so hard, there's still bits and pieces from the wall at Indianapolis. Let me tell you, never wanted to see the 00 wreck, especially, you know, being a small team the way they were, but this is the one time it kind of worked out. It was pretty damn neat to get a souvenir like this, I gotta say, and it's been hanging up. It'll continue to hang here for a long time. But 2018, man, was a really fun year. The first full year following StarCom Racing, and yeah, it was crazy because I had never rooted for a small team like that. Brand new team. It opened my eyes on a lot of different things. Not only just how hard it is for a team to come into the, you know, top level stock car racing and be competitive. It's tough. And a lot of things broke over the year. I'm telling you. StarCom had a lot of fuel pickup issues in 2018. I do remember that. There was one Atlanta race where they cut down a tire literally on the pace laps of the race and had to start just 2 or 3 laps down before the race even started. It was horrible. Of course, engine issues, all kinds of stuff. And thinking about that from 2018 to 2021, we had an even unluckier year in 2021, but again, it's just kind of how it works a lot of the times with the small teams. 2018, they finished off with the fish paint schemes with Kyle Weatherman and Landon Castle, the 99 and 00. And with that, we went right on to 2019. So on to 2019 then, came a lot of changes for StarCom Racing. They had announced that they were only going to be running one car full-time, and that was Landon Castle in the 00. 2019 was honestly probably the best year to be a StarCom Racing fan. Only one car to focus on. It was Landon Castle. It was a fun time. 2019 didn't start off very strong. You know, it's crazy. StarCom never had very good luck at the Daytona 500, which is pretty crazy. I just now realized, looking at some stats here, Jeffrey Earnhardt actually has the record for StarCom's best finish in the Daytona 500 with that 21st in the very first year. 2019 was close with the P24 finish with Landon Castle. He would have easily beaten it if he didn't do this.
Line just a little bit too early. I don't know if the air on the right side brought him up or if he just decided to try to get up in front of him, but just a little bit too early in front of McDowell in the 34. Ooh, big hit right there, 00. Landon Castle to the side door.
But when they came back to Daytona that year, that was StarCom Racing's one and only shot they had to win a race. The 2019 Coke Zero Sugar 400. You'll probably remember this race. It all came down, got past stage 2, rain was imminent, and then Clint Boyer, Austin Dillon get together, cause a huge wreck into turn 1, and obviously there's a big cleanup, and rain is on the way. So Kurt Busch ends up inheriting the lead. Landon Castle and StarCom Racing P2, Justin Haley, the eventual race winner, 3rd. NASCAR is scrambling, trying to get everything back going green. They end up calling one to go, and that's when Kurt Busch and Landon Castle, they brought both of those cars in, and obviously Justin Haley stayed out. It was literally, they were one decision away. If they would have just stayed on the racetrack, obviously looking back, hindsight's always 20/20. Yes, they could have won the race 100% if they would have just stayed out. But when you were really looking at it, they didn't know that at the time. They could have just restarted the race. They would have started in the lead, but they were running low on fuel. They were running low on everything. So, but you know how the rest went. They ended up coming down pit road, and then they never went back green. And Justin Haley went on to win his first Cup Series race. What could have been? How things might have turned out differently, we will never know. But unless anything changes as I record this the night before StarCom's final race, that finish will go down as StarCom's greatest finish as a P11. Nearly a damn win. The 2019 Southern 500 brought probably one of the greatest StarCom Racing paint schemes to life. That's right, y'all remember the Silver Bullet? It was a really great thing, and they brought on the Michael J. Fox organization where they raised money for Parkinson's disease, and they sold some T-shirts and donated a bunch of money. Of course, we had to get one. Look at this bad boy, StarCom 5er. It's once again, it's been worn multiple times. Seen better days, but man, one of my favorites in the StarCom collection. I don't remember exactly, but I believe Coors actually got involved another way as well. And I want to say they ended up buying a bunch of tires for the team as well. And honestly, was huge. They ended up having one of the best runs. Honestly, probably one of the greatest StarCom runs in all of StarCom history. They finished 25th that night. I know it doesn't sound crazy, but Landon took that thing. He finished 3 laps down. I'm telling you, that night, he was running top 20 and close to top 15 speeds at some point that night. I can't remember the circumstances, but something happened where he got stuck a lap down, and he was so unlucky he couldn't get it back all night. I remember being so pissed watching that race, because I remember if he could have just got back on the lead lap, he could have got a lead lap top 20 finish, which is, for a team like that, it was just unheard of, especially in the Southern 500. But either way, 3 laps down, 25th. Probably one of the best runs StarCom Racing has ever had outside of the plate tracks. I will tell you this, though. StarCom, always managed to run good at Darlington, even with Quinn. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize, but Quinn had some damn good runs at Darlington, too, during the COVID. We'll get to that here soon. Landon ended up finishing 14th at Talladega, one more good run for 2019. So Landon Castle then finished 28th at Homestead, and that would end up being his final race for StarCom Racing. I really enjoyed Landon Castle in his time with StarCom, man. He never really pushed too hard, but usually brought the car home clean. And I thought he was a perfect fit for the team. But I know a lot of decision went into the offseason for StarCom, and they ended up laying him off For more reasons than one, from what I heard, the most controversial decision in StarCom racing history. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how racing goes sometimes. And just like that, the Quin Houff era began. I gotta be honest with you, I woke up one morning and I got tagged on all kinds of stuff on Twitter. You probably saw my original video on it. What the? Of course, at the time, I was like, absolutely. I was like, what the hell, man? You know, fan favorite Landon Castle. What are we doing? I had never heard of Quin Houff before. Nobody had. But Quin was the final chapter. He brought us through the last 2 seasons of StarCom, and man, he brought some memorable moments, let me tell you. Small town guy coming in with really not a whole lot of racing experience. Didn't do any trucks, did some limited time Xfinity, no cup experience, but he had won a late model race, and that's good enough for Kyle Busch, apparently. So there's that. So 2020 was a weird year, if you guys didn't notice. It started off with the Daytona 500, like it usually does. The whole world was going to shut down here in a couple of weeks, but first we started that NASCAR season. And, well, what do you know? We wrecked out of the 500 again.
Lane, that was a close call for our 10 of Eric Almirola also. Now, those Fords had dropped to the back.
Quinn was at the back of the main pack, trying to pull up in front of Eric Almirola. And, well, he just kind of drove through him and wrecked him. I was pretty pissed. He was in the, Derek Cope tribute, and he had a little tribute there on the front. It had been 30 years since he won the Daytona 500, and, well, that's, he crashed, and that's exactly where he hit, right on the nose there. So, disappointing way to start the season for sure. Certainly, Quinn probably could have just held his line, but certainly Eric Almirola also probably couldn't have just not driven through him as well. But once again, that's racing. So, the next 3 races were not pretty. 32nd in Vegas, 35th in California. Then Phoenix happened. Damn engine blew, dropped oil, got on the tires, and then ended up wrecking the car altogether. One of the unluckiest moments probably in StarCom racing history. It was not good.
The left rear, or even maybe the left front, Mike, I gotta believe that there was some oil on the racetrack that spun him around.
Can I drive away? No, dude, something blew up. Gotcha.
That settles that.
And then that's how it basically ended for the next couple of weeks as NASCAR went on the COVID break and everything shut down. I'm telling you, man, what an unlucky time. Because that was the end of practice. That was it. Any testing, any practice, any advance for Quinn to try to get better through his rookie season, basically all went out the window for the entire rest of the season and 2021, except for the new tracks, obviously. Practice was out, qualifying was out, so you basically just had to learn, figure everything out, and hope the team unloads everything right for the race. And let me tell y'all, it did not go well many times. But the first 2 races back were Darlington, if you remember. I don't remember what happened the first Darlington race. It says on Racing Reference that they had electrical issues. I don't really remember what happened, but they finished, 36th there. But they came back, and my man Quinn dropped to 26th at Darlington. I'd mentioned it before, but for whatever reason, they always had pretty solid pace at Darlington, no matter who was in the car. Except for Derek Cope, his last start. He was kind of slow, but yeah, we still done the same. Either way, he was only 1 lap off the lead lap. There was some wrecks. I believe he actually got in the back of Clint Boyer when that was the race. Chase Elliott got wrecked and then slid back up in there, and he got back in the back of Clint Boyer a little bit. But he held on for a P26, and I was like, man, for never really racing at Darlington before, especially without any practice or qualifying, to really only be 1 lap down, I was like, man, I know this dude, he can do it. There's something in there. There's some potential. I knew it. I could tell from that race, man. I hate to say it, but honestly, his rookie year in 2020 was probably better than 2021, just for the sake that 2021 was so unlucky of a year, not only for him, but just for the entire team with stuff going wrong. But unfortunately, that brings us to Texas. The worst moment of StarCom racing history. Obviously, when Landon was replaced with Quinn, it already caused a lot of tension with just casual fans because everybody knows and loves Landon Castle. Nobody knows Quin Houff, right? That's just how it worked out. And I always felt bad for Quinn because I just felt like it put him in such a shitty position. But this Texas thing, let me tell you, from the casual fan's perspective, and especially when I first watched it, I was like, yeah, this ain't good. This ain't good.
Oh, he's coming down to try to get to pit road. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can't.
Oh, got Matty D too.
I'm just,
Oh.
He did. I'm assuming he was trying to get to pit road and pitting from
Can't do that.
the middle.
So there was a lot of things that went wrong in this situation. Quinn tweeted out after the race, so his side mirror, his spotter mirror had fallen off, which is not good. But that would have been the mirror he probably would have been looking at to get over or get down to pit. Especially since he was like middle top of the track. He would have been looking at that mirror to see if, you know, who the hell's underneath of me. But aside from that, I remember listening to the spotter audio, crew chief audio, all that good stuff, and they were calling him into pit right then, right there, as they're about to run out of fuel. And I just have to imagine as like a rookie driver going through like a situation like that, your mirror fell off, you probably just want to do what the hell your crew's telling you to do. And I felt like he was kind of set up for failure in a situation like that. And obviously, you know, you saw the end result. And I'm not saying it was 0% Quinn's fault. Like, at the end of the day, he's still driving the damn thing, right? But you see what I'm saying? Me personally, just watching that whole thing unfold and everything that led into it, I just felt like he really just got the shit end of the stick. But after this, man, it was tough to come back after this one. But I got a lot of respect for Quinn, man, and how he handled everything past this, because he just kept on digging, man. But I'm telling you, Twitter just ripped into everything, to him, to StarCom, to everybody. It was myself, dude. It was a tough day to be a StarCom fan that day, let me tell you. You know what nobody fucking remembers, though? I guarantee you not a single damn soul remembers the race after Texas. Everybody remember Quinn for that shit at Texas, but nobody remember he went out and finished 24th in the next one. I'm telling you, I was fucking hyped. Like I said, after that Texas thing, man, nobody cared for anything Quinn ever did, except for when he did something happened to him on the racetrack, which, again, that's just shitty. I don't know. If you're going to pick on anybody, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of shitty to pick on the small teams, man. Like, come on now. What are we doing? But my man went out there and rebounded with a 24th. And I'm telling you, like I said, I'm probably one of the only people who remember that. But now hopefully you guys know too. So Quinn finished out 2020 with a solid 13th place at Talladega. I did also forget to mention he finished StarCom's first Brickyard 400 with a 23rd place finish, still on the oval. He would have smashed that this year in 2021, but got yeeted by Alex Bowman on the last lap. To this day, I still have not seen video of it. I've just heard that the 48 was the one who wrecked him on the last lap. I remember seeing the smoke on the other end of the track, but I'm still not sure what happened there. But for a rookie season, for a guy who had never raced in Cup, limited Xfinity experience, no trucks. Like I said, does have a late model win. You know, it was expected for him to have a lot of ups and downs in 2020, and that was certainly the case. You know, aside from that Texas thing, I still believe it wasn't 100% his fault. Honestly, again, even during the COVID, without the practice, without qualifying and all that stuff, considering all those circumstances, I certainly think he could have done worse, a lot worse. So then that brings us to the final season, 2021. I could basically put this entire season together in probably about a minute and a half worth of just unlucky clips. Let's see, 29th in the Daytona 500 would have started off really good, but Bill's car flew the fuck apart. NASCAR didn't throw a debris caution, shredded a tire, and that was the end for the Daytona 500 once again.
Oh, wreck! Quinn Half.
The thing with the small teams, the plate tracks are always an opportunity to get a really good finish, right? So then they went on to Talladega, blew a tire there.
They see up ahead that Quinn Half had blown a right front tire, was slowing down. That's all it takes is just to check up the slightest bit.
I don't remember exactly what happened at COTA. I don't think even anybody knows exactly what happened at COTA. It was so rainy, nobody could really see, but he got wrecked at some point or something happened in there and had to retire the car. Broke at Sonoma, finished 36th. Went to Nashville for the first time, and I still don't know what the fuck happened, but the right front just fell the fuck off the car, lap one, turn one.
At the front there, we're going to see all the tires already off, the car into the fence. My gosh.
He got destroyed by Ryan Newman at New Hampshire for no fucking apparent reason. I have no idea why the hell that even happened, but fuck him.
So Ryan Newman from way back.
Chases the 0 in, and
Yeah, I have to wonder. I don't know.
Surely this will probably be Ryan Newman's damn last season too, I'd hope. The Bristol night race this year, Quinn cut 2 tires, I think. Left front and then a left rear.
That's Quinn Houff, and the left rear tire gone. And he has brought out the caution.
Can't forget when they went back to Daytona. Started the race, immediately got up to speed. The roof hatch blew open. Again, don't even know how that really even happened, but it, like when it blew open, it broke the hinge, so they had to take it back to the garage. And I sat there listening on my phone to the scanner audio and listening to them try to put it back together for 25, 30 laps. I'm just sitting there like this. Even just a couple of weeks ago at Texas, big crash early on. Quinn was in the back, just barely clipped somebody getting through there. Ended up just breaking the suspension, couldn't go on. And that was the end of that race too. It's certainly been an unlucky year just for one thing or another. You know what though? No matter what, I'm so damn happy and proud that Quinn started standing up for himself. Not only, you know, at New Hampshire when Ryan Newman sent him and junked his car there, at least pulling back up and dooring him under caution.
And Quinn's like, man, I told you to bottom. What do you want me to do? Just understand the frustration.
And especially, y'all might have seen it, Martinsville. I don't know what the hell Balicki was doing, but drove him clear into the outside wall of Martinsville. I was so happy I was there to witness Quinn's retaliation.
Oh, look at that! What the fuck? Hey, stupid fucker! Hold your lane! Should've wrecked his ass! Get him! Let him fucking have it! Yeah, there it is, that! Get his stupid ass, Quinn! Yeah! Fuck him! You goddamn right! Eat shit! Going out with a fucking bang! Fuck 'em!
But we're down to one final race at Phoenix this Sunday. I'll be sad, but I gotta say, man, just a big thank you to StarCom and everybody that's come in and out of there over the last couple years. You know, my favorite driver retired in 2017. You know, it obviously changes a lot how you watch the sport that you love so much. Being able to kind of latch on to StarCom and learn the team, follow, and see how they negotiated, you know, being a new team in the sport, really kept me back interested and got me back into it for the next 4 years. And for that, I'm very appreciative. To StarCom's PR guy, fucking legend you are. I got to give a shout out to Ryan Daly, who had the StarCom cars looking fire over every single year that they were in Cup. And of course, all you guys who followed me, you know, with the gaming stuff for years now, who when I got into StarCom, a lot of you guys followed me and got invested into the team as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My closing thoughts, I'm telling you, man, I never thought I would enjoy following a backmarker team as much as I did the last couple years. Like I said, it really kept me interested in the sport. And I'm telling you, some of the best stories, some of the best people, and honestly, some of the best racing, especially when you get to the short tracks, comes out of the 30th and on back group. I would certainly recommend trying to keep up with the smaller teams because they're the heart of the sport, man. And I wish more casual NASCAR fans gave some of those backmarker teams a chance. So I'm telling you, there's some great people, some great stories, and they certainly deserve more attention. So with that, it has been an honor and an absolute pleasure. I'll miss this team so damn much. I don't know who I'll be rooting for, if anybody, after this. StarCom was just so perfect, man. I can't imagine I'll find another fit like that, but you never know. You never know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but there y'all have it, man. Long live the memory of StarCom racing.